Good morning, Titan City. I'm your man Alien. You are watching Cyber News, and we dive into black market this time. So this is the full preview of the September. You already saw that. We already have some comments. I will tell you about a little bit about this release, stuff related to it, some stuff for the future, some stuff about the GridWars 2.0. Or how we like to call it here, green goes 2 zeros. Just inside joke, sorry. Okay, into the release. So of course we have like 3 releases inside one of the release, as always. This is like standard for us, but there will be some modification to that whole idea, but in the future, so no worries. Of course, Titan City stories when we visit our black market of the Titan City. Chrysalids, which this month I really love and will tell you something about them. And of course, new faction for our space game Hyperfront. So let's start, of course, with the black market and the Titan City stories, because, like I said, most of the models over there are made and concept by me. So I can tell you the most things about them. And of course, we will start with Sutter Roads, and of course I have to be honest with you. All of this is like heavy inspired, of course, with the Cyberpunk 2077, but of course with the upcoming expansion Phantom Liberty. Yeah, I had this great opportunity last month to be on the Phantom Liberty tour event at the CD Projekt Red headquarters in Poland, and it was awesome event. I played the game earlier, so I'm one of the first person in the world that have played it, and it's so cool. But of course I can't tell you anything about it. But I can be inspired with the characters and stuff like that, and this is like always with the Cyberforge stuff. We don't make copies, we just play homages, so the characters are heavily inspired but not the copies. We don't copy likenesses and stuff like that. So Sutter Roads over here with the coat, of course with the face, he's just a bit similar to Idris Elba. And maybe if you read the story on the small preview, there's like inside joke about Idris Elba from that sketch that was made on the internet. I will give you the link to this sketch below, the link to the movie, because it's hilarious about what Idris Elba can do, and inspired by Idris Elba. He's a great DJ. I didn't know that, but now I'm listening to his music. I made this mini, so Sutter Roads. And he's over here. He's like the bodyguard. I maybe I inspired this from somewhere, but yeah, is so like the whole story. But the code guy with the gun, heavily inspired with Cyberpunk, but most of the things in Cyberforge are in the genre, not exactly the game. I have a blast making him, so nothing more to say here. But here we have Steve Sparrow, the big head girl. So in the comments already there's like a small discussion, like 2-3 comments about her big head. It's funny because actually, like, if you measured it, and I will show you this in Blender soon because I have fun with it, she doesn't have a big head. She looks like she had a big head. Okay, that's perfectly honest, but if you have her over here, and you can just like compare her to the standard male character, which is Sutter Rhodes is, the head is even smaller than average human. I can show you this with the lines. I don't know if you even need that to see it, but if you check the proportions, the head is even smaller. It's like quick stuff, but but I can tell you a secret with those heads, because from time to time some characters are actually looking like their head are bigger. Her head isn't really. I think this is the optical illusion with these things on her neck. So this is probably that, and the hairs are a bit puffy. So maybe that. I actually love her. She had great pose. I call him Steam Sparrow, but I will finish with the heads, and I will then go to the description of the model. Because this is not a trade secret, but at Titanfall generally, when we are making models, usually we tend to make heads like a 2-3% bigger, and this is there's a simple reasoning behind that. Usually, of course, this looks different in renders, this looks different in pictures, but usually when you will be playing those characters on the board game, on your RPG setting, or maybe on GridWars, usually you will be looking top down to your models, and the first thing that you will see, it will be probably the head. So the heads don't have to be bigger, but they are almost the most important part of the miniature. But like in the human anatomy, I always said that the nose is the most important part of the head, because nose is the 90% of your face, and your face is the 90% of you, look wise. So yeah, that's why the head actually is maybe for you look a bit bigger. But in here, like you saw, head is actually good dimensions. This is the hair, and I think the next setting is give you this visual suggestion that her head may be bigger, but this isn't important. Important stuff is over here. So in in our story, she's a hacker. She's called Steam Sparrow. She's actually like reminiscent of the character from the Phantom Liberty DLC for Cyberpunk, the Songbird. So like a female hacker. That's very good. She's also very known in Titan City, but Steam Sparrow, because recently, because I don't have time to play games anymore, I just sit at work and make minis for you. This is funny, but it's almost entirely true. But I bought a Steam Deck, and I love it. And I love it because I can just like, I don't have to like sit down. I'm sitting in front of the computer for 14 hours. I don't need to sit more to play games, so I just go to the couch, take the Steam Deck, and just put some easy game and just have a blast. But actually, Cyberpunk 2077 is working on it quite good, so I really recommend it. Steam Deck is awesome, and that's over here. It's my homage to Steam Deck, but also the Netrunners in Shadowrun setting, in most of the Cyberpunk settings, have what you call the Cyber Decks. So, and even in real life, Steam Deck is like my personal cyber deck. So that's very cool for me. The next character over here, we have two like mostly generic characters, like Sparkless Sunny. There's like guy with the shotgun. I can't tell you more. Sparkless Sunny. There's like great movie, The Adventures of Bakaru Banzai. Very old movie, but it's so abstract science fiction stuff that I really recommend it. And over there's like lots of characters with different like weird names, and Sparkless Sony like it's right from that alley. And Scepter Quad, you also know my small love. I don't have time for it, but I love the setup of Apex Legends and Titanfall. Is visually is great cyberpunkish stuff. So this character is strongly inspired from I can't remember the name of the character in the game. Crypto, yeah. One of his skins, of course, is not totally copied, but I love it so much that we made it to reminiscence of him. So yeah, that's like and it's like he fits. There's Katana. He looks like some kind of Yakuza guy. So it's just cool. And there we have Black Market Militia, and with all the stuff that I want you to like to tell you from what I get the inspiration. One of the games from old PlayStation. Now it looks like I'm a great gamer, but I'm not. But is of course Killzone, and in Killzone we have Helghasts. So I really wanted to make the militia guys looking like some kind of samurais, because I really like this in cyberpunk setting, like in general in the theme. And there was like some Eastern fear, you can call that, like in the lore. where the whole world was afraid that the Chinese and Japanese governments and corporations will take over the world, will be very dominant technologically. So all the like Yakuza stuff, and in the military there is like a strong reminiscence of the design from Japanese like samurais and stuff like that. And I wanted this for these guys from the militia, but also with some kind like sinister twist. And I want them to have those masks that Helgas in the Killzone games have it. So the strong like emphasis on the eyes, like the glowing red eyes. Of course, they are not painted, but if some of you will paint them like Helgast, at least the masks, I would really love to see that. So I really like this kind of aesthetics. So that was idea behind the black market militia, and the guys, of course, like who was guarding, like mercenaries guarding the black market setting. And you can make like great unit. Oh, I will get to this guy soon, but you can make like great unit with them. Because they can fit almost your 40k stuff for sure, your like cyberpunk stuff, no problem. They almost can fit, I think, some maybe World War II even settings. So I think this is a great unit just to have in your library of STL files. Really, I love them. Almost all. At least this guy and the middle one and the one with the fist up, they can also work also as a characters. So because the rest of them are just like general poses, but I think they came out really cool. The Warbeast D, beautiful model made by Sebastian. He's like, this is the second month that he's making some stuff also for us. Usually he makes stuff for the fantasy patron of Titan Forge, but he really loves the sci-fi. He's a great sculptor, so I wanted to give him more centerpieces, not just like some generic guys. And this one is really stood out, I think, is like with this chainsaw jaw. And actually the background behind this is like the very awesome movie that I also recommend to you, and I have it over here. It's called Death Machine. It's old movie, I can't remember the 1994, so for most of you this is like probably very old, but for me it's just old. Movie is so cool, and the funny stuff about the movie is that they already in the movie have some references to the older sci-fi classics like Aliens or stuff like that with the name of the characters. So this is something very close to me because this is something that we do here at Cyberforge. So you can just check out the movie. Movie is cool. It's cool. It has like giant monster cybernetic killer machine made by Brad Dourif. This is the actor on the left, the biggest head. This guy always plays like psychos. He's the voice behind the Chucky, from the Child's Play, the horror movie when he's a small killer doll. So awesome movie. Like I said, you have to like take it with a grain of salt because it's like old school sci-fi. But I really recommend it. So that's what was my hints for the Sebastian to make this Warbeast D, and the minis came out cool. He stands on the 60mm base. It can be like your boss monster, or I don't know, but really looks cool. Very clean sculpt. Love it. And the last stuff from the black market, we have Chieftain Relic tank, and this is actually this comes from my also personal love. I love a lot of stuff. What can I say? Lots of stuff, lots of movies. I'm like total nerd, sorry. But I also love The Walking Dead. I know this is for some people this is a guilty pleasure, like 11 or 10 seasons, spin-offs is too much. I tend to watch it all, love it. But in the first season, and probably the first episode, maybe second, I can't remember, Rick Grimes hides inside of the tank in the city of Atlanta, and this is actually this tank. So I thought it would be cool to give it up as a relic, because we are set far in the future, But with this tank over here, I didn't take this print. I have this print in the other room. It's really big actually. I can tell you that in the renders I just lied a bit, just like 7%. For him, maybe a bit more. Over here, he's a bit smaller to fit the render than that, but just like 7 to 10% smaller to fit the render, because this is like a piece of tank. So if you like tanks, and I know some of you do, you will be very happy with this guy, I think. So yeah, that's the whole reasoning behind the black market. Like I said, I take inspiration from lots of stuff. Sometimes it's hard to get inspired because of the time that we have for each release and the number of miniatures that we are putting out, but 90% of them have our souls and heart put into it, so I hope you really enjoyed them. And this is like, I still hope that this cyber news is also good for this, that you can peek a bit behind the scenes and know what we are thinking when we were making something weird. Okay, next part of the release is of course Grim Realms, and in the Grim Realms we are continuing our setting of Chrysalids, and this month I'm loving them very much because actually the Martin is usually working a lot on the details. There are like a bit less models to do, so he has more time, but in this case he had a lot of models to do, but still managed to pull them off beautifully. The models are so cool. I have some of them over here, I can show you. So like the whole insides, when the brains are sticking out, are very cool. They print very clean, have lots of details. This is like really beautiful job. Beautiful job. If Martin have time and can work in peace, he can really pull off things of beauty. And those Chrysalids this month are like really exceptional. We don't we don't step down at any times. There probably never were the models when I can honestly tell you, oh, this is shit and I don't like it. But this time I really like those models, and like I don't know the 40k stuff. This is not my, like, I tell you this a lot. I'm always looking at the stuff from Gremlins from the perspective of the guy who doesn't know anything specific about the grim future of hammer of war, but just look at them. They have lots of details. They look like serpents with giant brains and like crystals. You can take this even and use it as some kind of dragon in your D&D maybe setting. I don't know. For me, they're just like, they are useful outside of what they are. If this makes sense, outside of what they are. So of course they are proxies for very specific settings, but they look so good that can be easily be something else outside of their destination. So okay, and where are the starships? Because Hyperfront received another faction and Steam Core Order, so they have like those cool, they are not steam powered, but they have these pipes on the tops. They look like steamships, old steamships, and I really love it because everybody calls me Alien. I love the Alien, the first Alien movie. The name of the starship named Nostromo was actually named out of the name of the not real but steamship from the book. So that's my relation with them as a steamships. And as for the Hyperfront, I have not bad news, not at all, but we will soon make some rearrangements in Hyperfront in general in the Patreon, but as always, we will not take out anything. We will just add some stuff and rearrange it a bit. so you can expect some small differences, and those differences will start to appear once the campaign of the GridWars 2.0 are out. But I will just tell you just like a bit about terrains, and I will dive straight into GridWars. So over here we have terrains like of course related to black market, so the stuff that we can like find and buy in the illegal market, so like weapons, computers, like bot, and some of you wrote the comments that you can actually butcher this guy and make him into the full-fledged mini of the mech. Of course you can do it, no problem, with just a bit of work in Blender or maybe in some even easier soft, no problem. But he's also in GridWars as a neutral unit, if I remember correctly, so you can get him over there, and he's in parts, so legs, corpse, his core is separate, so it's a bit easier to make him in the full-fledged mini. And as always, other Martin is making this. He usually like trying to feel my vibe, so I explained him what is the setting, and he will try to like make things happen for you to be useful in this setting. And of course he makes bases, and this time they have like awesome thing on the ground, but like for the bigger ones you can almost use them as a small dioramas, so this is also cool but still useful. So I think I hope this is cool, and I really hope you will have blast printing this release. And also I will just making the finish, because I don't want this video to be like very long. It's usually long, but don't want this to be a very long. We have like 50 something hours as I'm recording this to finish the campaign of the GridWars, like 2 days. You already saw some updates, everything is going well, everything will be out. Already there's a small movie. I just quickly want to show you the terrains. The terrains later will be separate physical products, so you can also like use them not exactly in GridWars, but in your RPG settings. So yeah, the GridWars actually, this is like, I couldn't wait for it to be out, and soon at least it will be out. I already spoke with some of you that we will be trying to be very engaged with the community, organize some community stuff, so tournaments, so competitions, painting competitions, making terrain competitions, like story campaigns. I have this over here on my own, because I have a board over here for the character stories. So probably there will be competition for you to write the stories for the characters from the factions that you love, and we will be like choosing from them. So yeah, really, I really hope that I can make the GridWars awesome game with you. I'm always emphasize that we are not making like awesome money on the GridWars, but GridWars almost like passion project, like stuff for you to have something nice that will not stress you out where you'll be playing when the setting is specific, when it's dystopian, cyberpunkish future, but it's so vastly open that you can also implement your stories, your kind of games. So from people to people, or from cyborgs to cyborgs, I don't know. So yeah, that's really what I'm hoping for. So as we will finish the campaign, of course make the delivery of the files for you, and after that we will just start to make this. Will also come with the small, like I said, rearrangement on the Patreon, but only more stuff will come, so like really you will not lost anything, because we just a bit want to try to involve more people from Patreon into the GridWars, and we really hope you like it, but not to be intrusive. We'll still make our usual content. So if you are into Grim Realms, I'm saying this all the time, Grim related stuff were here from the start and will be here till the end, so you guys don't have to worry. But we'll just try to make something funny, some cool stuff for also for GridWars. Okay, the plan for the future is like always a lot of work, because we have like awesome and lots of projects. You saw already probably some some commercials stuff that we are now in the very deep into the if online board game. So this is like great project. We have stuff for Lobotomy 2, Bloodfields, of course other patrons, Fantasy patron, Chibi Forge patron, lots of work, lots of stuff. I will try not to just die during making all of those. Of course you can reach me on every platform. The PMs, private messages on the Patreon are the best place for you to get some stuff fixed. If your links doesn't work, if you didn't receive any invitation for the group on the My Mini Factory, PMs on the Patreon are the best way to reach me. Of course I'm answering everything on the Discord channel. We have channel for cyber news, so Patreon related stuff, and we have channel for the GridWars, we have channel for Hyperfront. Over there you can ask, we will always answer you over there. Any other media that on the My Mini Factory, on the Frontiers, on the campaign with the GridWars 2.0 and on the Kickstarter, I'm also answering everything. I'm trying to be always active for you guys if you need help, or if you could just like talk shit about I don't know, like old sci-fi 80s games and movies. So you can like, yeah, and of course in the comments on the YouTube channel. And since I'm talking about the YouTube channel, please subscribe and like this video, maybe even share it. And like I said, we don't earn money on the YouTube, just do it for your convenience, so you will be up to the news. Okay, if you have some questions, you know where to find me. If not, we are seeing each other in a few days where the campaigns of the GridWars 2.0 will be over, and in the 3 days there will be full release of Black Market, so I hope you will enjoy. Until then, stay cool, stay cyber.